Let's have a look. Is it me? It's me. I'm here.
Oh, amazing. I need to get a code again from Facebook. So let me just log in.
Sure.
Request a code. It should come to your mobile very shortly. Bloody Facebook.
Yeah. Okay, it is 28.
Yep.
91, 75.
75. Super. And then, do you want to test your music out?
No, because I didn't actually really use it, to be honest.
Okay.
So I'm not going to bother with that.
And you're not going to be sharing any screens, no nothing?
Not sharing any screens, no, it's just me.
Fabby. Right, I'm going to go live into the group now.
Okay.
Good luck.
Oh, hello. I think we have people in. Let's have a look. Hello, hello, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Right, let's wait for everyone to join us this evening. If you are here live, I am very, very excited and happy to see you. If you're watching this on replay, I'm equally happy to see you. And I hope that you enjoy this if you're watching it on replay. Good evening to everybody coming in right now. And we're very welcome here. So let's just wait just a couple of minutes whilst everybody comes in. We had a lot of people live with us last night. Lots of people asking for the replay today. Lots of people enrolling, which is absolutely wonderful and very, very exciting. And so tonight we're going to go on to the next level of learning in a very similar way to what we did last night. But I'm just going to give everyone one more minute. So those of you who are here, thank you. If you want to get yourself cozy, you want to get a journal, a pen, quick cup of tea, whatever makes you happy. I want you to enjoy this. I want you to feel good in your body. If you want to light a candle, I always have a little my candle burning whilst I'm doing teaching and when I'm studying at home. Just you want to make it as yummy and as beautiful experience as you can. So let's get ready. Oh, so those of you who were here yesterday should also have got your PDF copy of the Baby Massage Handbook for your own personal use anyway. If you want to buy the hard copies of the book, you can get them from Amazon, and they're in the course. So if you are a student of Blossom and Berry, you can distribute them in your class as well. So it's all done for you, and you can either send it as an electronic version, or we've made them as cost effective as we can, so you can actually give these out in your class as your handouts. So yeah, all right. So I am going to start now. It's 3 minutes past 8. So I might just say hi to any newcomers. So good evening. Welcome to day 2 of Prepare to Teach Baby Massage. If this is the first class that you've been to and you weren't here yesterday, I'm Gail Berry. I'm the founder of Blossom and Berry. I'm an international expert on baby massage and baby yoga, and I'm the world's leading birth and baby business coach, a mummy of 3, and a very lucky, blessed soul, basically. I'm passionate about teaching love to parents and babies across the world through the power of nurturing touch, massage, yoga, and play. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. And so tonight we're going to be moving on from what we did yesterday. Yesterday we looked at how to feel professional. We looked at boundaries, we looked at legalities, we looked at safety. Some people who are watching this live have sent me their exam, like their little exam questions, because if you want the certificate of attendance, you can have one if you answer the questions in the workbook. So if you haven't discovered the workbook, it came when you enrolled. You don't have to find it now, you don't have to fill it out now, but if you do want the certificate of attendance, you can. So some people sent me that work from yesterday, just some simple questions looking at values of baby massage instructor, what is appropriate or not appropriate behavior, obviously all within different cultures. So we have to respect cultural diversity and the fact that every culture is slightly different. And so tonight we're going to build on it around what it means to be the expert. And that's something that, sorry, that I'm really, really passionate about, is that all my teachers feel confident and that they are experts, not only in baby massage, but in the broader context of parent and baby wellness as well, which is why we have our baby massage or baby yoga teaching courses, but we also have our Nurturing the Future 1001 day diplomas, which really give you the expert knowledge of why the first 1001 days of life count. And that makes you a real specialist and allows you to create an integrated practice around teaching parent and baby wellness. So if you don't know about the first 1001 days of life, that's what I'm going to be covering a lot tonight. I'm going to be talking about why baby massage matters. Because when you understand the why, everything else drops into place. Because instead of thinking that you need to be saying something, you're talking straight from the heart. You're talking passionately about what matters to you. And that really engages people and magnetizes them to you. And it's just your truth, you know, like it's very liberating and really empowering to actually speak your truth. So you're not speaking off a sheet, you're speaking because you know this is so important to you. And many people, very beautiful people, messaged me last night to say how much they enjoyed the passion that I have for baby massage, which is because it is my life. I'm a complete geek, I'm a complete nerd. I love research, I love reading, I'm learning so much my every day. I'm a humble student as well as a teacher, and the more and more I learn about early childhood development and the first 1001 days of life, the more committed I am to really elevating what I call the value of the village, because it's the village that is the extension of the family, and the family is the extension of us. And that's how we're designed to live, I believe, in community. That's how for millions of years our ancestors lived, and in quite recent times, really, in compared to the history of the earth, we've become very disconnected, and we've, through lots of different reasons, not necessarily ones we're conscious of, we've become less connected to our families, less connected to our communities, and the village doesn't really exist anymore in the way that it did. It's actually up to us as birth and baby practitioners to build the village. And it's up to you guys as village visionaries. That's one of my coaching programs for people that really want to become, leaders in the birth and baby practitioner world. You are a village visionary. So through your message, through your embodiment, through your classes, you get to build the village. And the village is, so crucial to our mental health and well-being. And again, I could go on about this for a very long time. There's a huge section in the Blossom and Berry course on this, on the emotional and social and the cultural implications of nurturing the future one baby at a time and investing in the first 1001 days of life. So as human beings, we are biologically designed to be social. We are hardwired for social interaction. We are hardwired to eat together, to sleep together, to play together, to inspire each other. And it's in community that we have safety. Now, so much of what is causing mental health problems across the world is a lack of the village, is a lack of feeling like you're supported, feeling like you belong, feel like you're accepted. We all live very individual lives. We probably spend the most amount of time in our lives, let's be honest, with this. Okay, this is probably taken the place of the village. And yes, of course, there are great things about technology. The fact that we have a global family, the fact that you can watch movies any time of the day, the fact that you can stream music, the fact that you can create and share through YouTube and all of these amazing things. So don't get me wrong, I'm not against technology at all. But our brains have not actually adjusted to the fact that technology is, a friend. Our brains still recognize things like touch, eye contact, talking to each other, singing, dancing, being outside in nature, gathering in circle. That's actually what our brains recognize as safety and trust. And it's when we're in community that transformation happens. So The reason why I'm talking about this is because at the heart of what you're doing here, you might be thinking, I went to baby massage and I had fun and I learned this and I learned that. And that's true, you will get that. But what you're actually doing is you're building community, you're building support systems that will have a ripple effect that you probably will never actually truly appreciate. But as a village visionary and as a nurture ambassador, that's what we like to call ourselves at Blossom and Berry, is that we're here, as I said, to nurture the future one baby at a time. And the future is literally in our hands, it's in our arms. Our babies are being held by us, and what love they receive from us in these early days shapes their brains, creates their emotional blueprint, which then manifests in their thoughts, actions, and behaviors, which then manifests in their reality. So if you were ever to doubt the power of the early years, it would be like ignoring the fact that when you were trying to grow something, that you have to prepare the soil, you have to make sure all the nutrients are there, you have to take all the weeds out, and you have to put all of the yummy stuff in there that's going to help to let that seed grow. And then the seed that you put into the earth, whatever's in that seed is what is going to grow, and it's the fruit is going to be born from that seed, from that first soil. So when you're talking about the first 1001 days of life, the soil is the mother's body, or those who identify as a mother. It's the environment that the baby grows in is the soil, it's the womb. And so much research now shows us that babies are directly affected by the experiences of their mothers in the womb. There's been many studies, a very famous one was done on women who were pregnant who observed the 9/11 atrocity, terrorist attack in New York. And those who were pregnant who were diagnosed as having post-traumatic stress disorder or had, a very huge amount of trauma from the event, when their babies were born, their babies also had signs of post-traumatic stress disorder, because that level of stress hormones had gone through the womb into the baby and directly affected that baby's nervous system. There are many examples where you've got vulnerable parents who perhaps got drug or drink addictions, again, passing it through to the baby, shaping that baby's brain. The level of stress hormones in the parent's body is going to transfer through to the baby. It makes sense because the parent and the baby are one. They are one being in unity. So what happens during that time is absolutely crucial for baby development. And in the past, a lot of focus has been put on the physical side, what you're eating, are you sleeping, how you're moving, all of this, but not so much has looked at the perinatal period, so the emotional, social, mental health of the mother, which, as we actually know, that your body actually responds to your thoughts, what is going on in your mind. So if you want to have a healthy body, it starts by having a healthy mind, because as I said, your body and mind are in complete connection. So it's really important to understand how what we're doing here at the beginning is what we end up with at the end. And from the point of view of babies, the babies are innocent, beautiful, 100% love, innocent souls. Okay, they are, it's a miracle that we're even here in this beautiful world, and that the female, or those who identify as females, body can produce another human. If you are a mother, or you identify as a mother, just amazing. And fathers, and those who would identify as fathers, what incredible power in our bodies to create humans. And sometimes we forget that. It's absolutely amazing. And in that process, we are shaping that baby's reality. And so we need to be conscious of what is happening during that time, because by the time baby is born, if the first 1001 days are from conception to 2, by the time you've been born, 9 months of that has happened. And in that 9 months, you have downloaded everything from your parent. And you've also got something called intergenerational trauma, which is the fact that your DNA is shaped by your mother's DNA, your grandmother's DNA, your great-grandmother's DNA, and it just keeps going back and back and back and back. So even within your DNA, before you know, there is a certain amount of genetic imprinting that has occurred from how your ancestors grew up in their time. So, you know, there's a lot of intergenerational trauma that comes from different parts of people from different parts of the world, different races, you know, whether you were in a position of power or whether you lived in poverty. All of these things affect your DNA. So you've got that, and then you're placing this beautiful seed into the soil, the mother's womb, and then within the womb, which really should be the most nurturing space of unconditional love, where everything that a baby needs is on tap, is the original love bubble, because you're held in unconditional love. You don't have to ask for anything. You receive every single thing that you ever could desire, and you're completely safe, completely relaxed, in the most optimum condition. You're just pure awareness. But of course, if your mother or you know, if you do identify as a mother, is experiencing stress, that will affect the baby. So by the time the baby is born, that may have happened. Then birth itself for many babies can be quite traumatic, depending on the experience. Our bodies are designed, again, to give birth orgasmically. We've got all of the hormones that we need there. Oxytocin is the love hormone, it's the bliss hormone. Our bodies are designed to give birth. You know, work that I've done around the world, particularly in Malawi, where my charity is, women literally just, when they're ready to give birth, they walk to the birth center, they just stand outside until it's ready to give birth, they go in, they squat, and they give birth. And in the vast majority of situations, there are no complications. And then they leave and they are breastfeeding, and, you know, that's the start of their motherhood journey. It's seen as an extremely natural process in life. It's not medicalized or hospitalized in any shape or form. But for some babies and for some parents, birth can be quite traumatic. And let's face it, you know, there is a certain level of fear around birthing in the West, because of the stories we hear, because of medicalization, because of TV programs. Some of them can be helpful, some of them not so much. Stories, all of these different things that tell us that birth is painful and birth is difficult. And, you know, there's lots of evidence to show that it doesn't have to be that way. So you've got birth, and then you're plunged into parenthood and baby infancy. And interestingly, a recent study that was done by Dr. Bruce Parry said that it's actually the first 8 weeks of life which are the most transformational for babies. So this is the time when babies' brains are most sensitive. So anything that happens to babies in that first 8 weeks will really shape their brains. Now, the good news is that that's not necessarily permanent, but it is the most sensitive time. So it's not even the first 1001 days. It's actually those 8 weeks that have been identified. But what his research study showed, that with nurturing care and love, anything that's happened during that time can be overcome. So if a baby's been a preemie baby, or they've been sick, or there's been separation, or they've had a traumatic birth, or anything like that they've been exposed to, it is definitely reversible through nurturing care, love, and secure attachment. So we are working in this sphere. Like I said, if that fascinates you, our Nurturing the Future diplomas really cover like conception to birth, birth to one to two. So you can have the whole spectrum, which really makes you the village visionary. But with baby massage, we're mainly focusing on the time between between 8 weeks and active crawling, so about 9 months. The reason why we don't massage babies in the kind of regular routine between birth and 8 weeks is because the skin is extremely delicate. And there's been some recent studies done by Manchester University that suggested that using oil on baby's skin could cause eczema or skin problems, because the skin is actually really permeable and it's not ready to actually receive oil. So the best thing to use is nothing during that time, to just use Still Touch, containment holds, kangaroo care, reflexology, and what we call dry touch, so touch through clothes. So we actually have a separate course that focuses on parent and baby in the first 8 weeks of life, called Newborn Nurture. And we're the only sort of training company that does that, because those babies and actually parents need something completely different during that time. That time is seen as the traditional 40 days of rest and recovery, which is practiced in cultures across the world in many different ways, where the emphasis is on treating new parents, new mothers, or those who identify as mothers, as queens. I went to Malaysia to study this at the University of Kuala Lumpur, and I studied all about postnatal care there in the first 40 days of life, because in Malaysia, they have the lowest postnatal depression rate in the world. So it's 1 in 10, compared to the West, where it's 1 in 3. So I went there to study why is that the case? And I was very lucky to experience many of the rituals, treatments, and practices that new mothers experience during this time. And what I can say to you was, it blew my mind because new mothers have treatments every day. They have massage. They have special treatment for clearing their head. They have vaginal like baths and steaming to kind of repair any damage to the vagina and to just clear the womb and heal the womb. They have all sorts of practices, breast massage to bring in their milk. They just basically, they're really looked after. Their diet is controlled by the family, who are giving them everything that they need to nourish them. It's all about keeping the body warm and restoring it so that the mum is at her full capacity to breastfeed the baby and be in her full power and energy. And when I spoke to one of the mums when I was there, I said, how would you describe your experience of having a baby, a new mum? And in one word, and she said, I felt like a queen. And I was like, wow. That is not how most mums feel in the UK. We're largely back, in the supermarket or looking after people or doing this and that within about 72 hours. And sometimes, I know with my third child, I had 3 children in 3.5 years. I was at Tesco's the day after I'd had my baby, because I didn't have a lot of help. So from a queen to, not a queen, is probably the best way to put it. And so because of this attitude in Malaysia, there's a whole different vibration around motherhood. You're revered, you are celebrated, and you and your baby have this quiet time together during the 40 days to bond. And during that time, there's massage, there's skin contact, there's eye contact. The mum and the baby are literally put into this beautiful cocoon of love, their own love bubble, where they get to bond, to get to know each other. And they have this wonderful, secure attachment, which gives them safety. The mother feels safe because she's being held by the village, the community, and the baby feels safe because the baby's being held by the mother and also the village and the community as well. So there's a concept called allo parenting, which is found in many places across the world, where it's not just the mummy and the daddy, or those who identify as mummy and daddy's role to parent, it's everybody's role. So it's the extended family, it's the village, it's absolutely everyone who has a role in that. And of course, in modern day society, that's not as easy, but you can have like a postnatal doula. Like we have a course called 40 Days of Love, which helps you to support new parents. You can have your friendship group. You may have your family who can come and stay with you, but it's absolutely so important to do this. So after you've got through that first 6 weeks, then you're going into the time when you're massaging. So there are so many benefits of baby massage. So maybe you're coming to this because you've been to a class yourself and you've experienced it. Maybe you're a massage therapist, or you work in the holistic field, or maybe you're coming from a parent and baby wellness point of view. A lot of people think of baby massage as in, you know, massage, the physical side. And of course, there are so many benefits of the physical side. And as I spoke to you yesterday, a big part of our course is anatomy and physiology, understanding how the baby's body is different to the adults, understanding all the body systems, how massage affects them, and also things like sensory integration and the vestibular system, proprioception, the bigger concepts that are absolutely vital to early childhood development. So of course, that's really amazing. And many people will be coming to your classes because they have a colicky baby, a windy baby, you know, a baby that is constipated. They might have a baby that has got teething pain. They might have a baby that's not sleeping so well, who's got skin complaints. So lots of physical reasons, and we can definitely, most definitely, you know, offer massage as a tool for that parent to soothe and calm and to help to put the body into the most optimum state by balancing all of the body systems largely through circulation, where you're delivering oxygen and nutrients to every single cell, tissue, fiber, organ of the body, so the body is completely supplied with everything that it needs to grow. And you're also helping to take away all the waste products, the urea, the carbon dioxide, anything that the body doesn't want anymore. You are helping to drain that away as well. So you're supporting this little tiny baby's body that is not ready to go. But it's also important to say that humans are the only mammals really that don't get up and walk within the first kind of hour or 2 hours of life. It takes us about 9 months to 12 months to actually do those things, because when we're born, our brains can't get any bigger than the size that they are. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to pass through the birth canal. So babies' brains are developed to the point that they can have their basic reflexes in their nervous system, like the Moro reflex, or this one is called the rooting reflex, or the sucking reflex, or the grasp reflex, all of those, but they haven't got any more control at all. So they're completely helpless and totally reliant upon their caregivers to nurture them, which is very, very different to all other mammals. It's also believed that babies' brains aren't fully complete, so that wherever they're born in the world, culturally, they're able to absorb the cultural practices. And so they're able to adapt to wherever they end up in the world, because humans are all over the world. It's really, really fascinating. So there's loads of stuff there about brain development, nervous system development, all of those things. But really, you know, a healthy body creates a healthy energy, healthy mind. So that is very, very important. And so we focus very much on the whole routines. You're going to learn all the routine. You're going to learn routines specifically for colic, constipation, for teething, to help to improve the condition of the skin. If you go on to study yoga with us, you're going to understand how you can use yoga and physical movements with your baby to and teach parents how to optimize how their baby understands how their body moves, so you can move on that for gross motor skills and fine motor skills, and really fine-tuning the brain and giving baby this innate intelligence, which is absolutely crucial in life, but a connection to the body. So that's very, very important. And, you know, that's what we're teaching really is a massage routine. And we are doing that over largely 4, 5, 6 weeks when people are coming to a class. You can do workshops, you can do beautiful nurture days in lovely locations, you can collaborate with people with that, you can do one-to-one sessions. And so the parent will leave with a physical, you know, a physical practice that they can do with their baby to help to calm and soothe them and to help them to connect with their baby. And babies will have a beautiful time having a massage. Like, who wouldn't want to have a massage every day or every week? And that's why for some of my teachers, we do like an introductory course for 6 weeks, and then we just do follow-on courses where parents keep coming, because why stop coming to massage if you're loving it and you're bonding with your baby's responding well to it, you're in the village, you're in the community. So there's no need to just stop it artificially after 6 weeks. You just keep letting it flow. And that's how many of my teachers have built up, you know, 12, sometimes 16 classes a week, because they're just keeping their clients coming, because it's the actual practice of baby massage which makes a difference. You know, you don't go to a yoga class once and say, oh, that's yoga, I understand yoga, I don't need to do it anymore. It's the same with massage. The benefits are everlasting, and you know, they don't switch off. So if it's a way to anchor that practice in for parents every week by coming to a class, it's a great opportunity to gift that to parents and ask them if they want to come and invest in further courses after they've done the introductory one with you. And we give you all of this information and all the different lesson plans in what we do. So you've got that really strong physical side, and some of the physical benefits, as I said, is it helps to relieve a lot of newborn ailments, and it produces, like, this is the one that sort of crosses over the physical and the emotional. It produces a hormone called oxytocin. Now, oxytocin is known as the love hormone. The bond is the hormone of bonding. Is the altruistic hormone, is the hormone that makes us fall in love. It's the hormone that is produced when you touch anybody. It's the hormone that is produced when you give birth. It's the hormone that's produced when you breastfeed. It's the hormone that's produced when you have an orgasm. It's the hormone of connection and love. So I'm just going to drink a mouthful of this tea. So nature has been very clever that it decided to give mums, or those who identify as mums, and babies a love bubble of oxytocin. So you've got oxytocin around birth. You have oxytocin because it contracts your uterus to give birth. You have oxytocin if you choose to breastfeed or chest feed, and you have oxytocin when you have skin to skin and when you touch your baby. And obviously babies are being held all the time, so you've got this oxytocin going. So what massage does is it gives you, parent and baby, that lovely influx of oxytocin, which just helps them on that bonding journey. So even if the mind is saying, help, I don't know how to do this, help, my baby is crying, help, what do I do about this? Even if the mind is stressing, the presence of oxytocin through breast or chest feeding or co-sleeping or holding your baby or baby wearing, all of those things, it actually overrides your brain. It puts your brain into a state of relaxation and acceptance of everything, and it makes you want to nest, and it makes you want to look after your baby. Now, how clever is that? And that's why having skin to skin and having these close, intimate moments with your baby is so important for a mother's brain as well as a baby's brain, because you know, that baby brain thing, the way that you feel, the fact that you feel all emotional all the time and you feel really connected to things, that's because of the oxytocin. You know, it's actually chemically changing your brain. You can't escape it. Unless you decide that you don't want oxytocin and you don't want to connect and touch with your baby, in which case those levels can go down. And some people have suggested in the past, some writers and researchers, that a lack of oxytocin can lead to postnatal depression, which is why baby massage is often recommended for women, or those who identify as women, for postnatal depression, because it can boost your oxytocin levels. So can you see how much science there is here? Like, as I said before, these masterclasses that I'm doing at the moment is literally about 10%, not even 10%, of the vast amount of research that I have accumulated over the last 20 years to empower you to understand all of this. What my desire is, I'll check in with you at the end, is that you're feeling excited about this. You're like, wow, the body is amazing. Look what we could be doing if we all really, really connected with ourselves, the process of birth, if we celebrated birth, if we recreated the village, if we honoured babies as 100% love, new souls coming into the earth, and create the most nurturing environment for them. What kind of world would we be living in? Would we be having mental health problems? Would we be feeling like we're separated? Would we feel like we're isolated? You know, the number of children that are now reported to have mental health problems is at an all-time high, because there is separation occurring between parents and babies, because parents are going back to work earlier. We've got our old friend here, the telephone. That is no substitute for a human face. That is not going to, yeah, you can rub that on your body all you like. That's not going to create oxytocin. You know, it's eye contact, it's the sound of your voice, it's your physical presence, it's the stimulation of the skin, it's the breath that creates the oxytocin. And so as we become more disconnected as in our bodies as adults, we're just passing that on to babies, who then go on to be parents, and then also have forgotten the power of the body, the power of nature. And this is what Blossom and Berry is all about, whether it's nurture with our baby massage courses or nature with our tree babies and our wild well-being courses. These are the two most fundamental principles that are going to save us, is nature and nurture. Okay. They're both equally important. Studies actually say now that nurture is more important than, say, biology, because biology, epigenetics says that even if you have a perfectly healthy baby, if you put them into an environment that is toxic, they're not going to reach their full potential. And they've looked at situations where they've had babies that have very, very similar backgrounds in different environments. They have different things it expresses in their health, their wealth, their education. Even things in like their bone density, how tall they are, things like asthma and eczema, they're all linked to what kind of stress you experience as a child. That's what all the research now shows you. So it's absolutely vital that we do this work. And I've completely and utterly forgotten what I was saying now because I've gone off on yet another tangent. However, I think I was saying about oxytocin and how important it is. Yes, I was. So I'm going to introduce you to two concepts that we use at Blossom and Berry that will help you to explain to your clients why baby massage works so beautifully well. Now, we have lots of concepts like this. We have lots of phrases at Blossom and Berry. We have teach love, because that's what we do. We're putting love into action when we're using nurturing touch and massage. All of our teachers are called nurture ambassadors, because we are here to nurture the future one baby at a time. My podcast is called Nurturing the Future 1001 Days to Save the World, because that's what we're doing. Remember, you are the village visionary. You are part of this. When you're part of Blossom and Berry, you take on these values. You're part of this community. You're part of this campaigns. We are behind you. Okay, we are all in this together. And we have two other concepts that we use. Actually, I forgot a very important one there. Obviously, we have love creates love. So those of you, I've actually got it on here, the infinity sign, and it's there on our book as well. So the love creates love symbol is about infinite love, in that as you give love, you receive. So love creates love. So when we nurture, love, and celebrate parents, parents can love, nurture, and celebrate babies who grow up to know that they are loved, celebrated, and nurtured, and then go on to do the same with their children. And so it continues. And obviously, it's my job here at Blossom and Berry to nurture, love, and celebrate you. And that's why the Blossom and Berry business model is the way that it is, because it is all about love and nurture, unlimited love and nurture. Because just in the way that parents, babies still need their parents, you will still need community as well. Like, I'm 48. I still like to talk to my mum. My mum is still a parent working out how to be a parent of a 48-year-old who has 4 adult children. So, you never stop learning. There is never a point where that infinity love loop ever ends, because we're all together in this infinite universe together. So love creates love. But the two principles that are in the baby massage book are, first of all, the love loop, which is obviously the infinity sign there, which we use to explain something called serve and return, which I will tell you about in a moment. And the other concept that we use, that if you follow us, you might be aware of, is the love bubble, Blossom and Berry's love bubble. So let me see if I can find the page about that. So the love bubble, all these concepts come out of my very creative mind, because I am a very conceptual person. I'm a very creative person. I'm always up to up to things, always creating things for you. So we have lots of here about the love bubble, and the connection triangle, which is oxytocin, which we talked about already, love and touch, and how that triangle creates a really firm foundation for attachment. So let me talk to you about the love bubble. Okay, so this is fantastic to explain to your clients. there are 5 benefits of baby massage, main benefits of baby massage, and we often call them your 5 a day. So just like, you know, the government says, eat your 5 a day, eat your 5 fruit and veg a day to be healthy. I believe that you've got to have these 5 connection touch points in your day to start to create a healthy attachment with your baby, socially and emotionally. So it's easy to remember. Have you got your 5 a day? So those are touch, which is obviously massage or nurturing touch or baby wearing or chest or breastfeeding. Oxytocin, we've talked about that, the love hormone. Smell, so that's being close to your baby, imprinting your smell on your baby imprinting smell on you. In massage, we don't use scented oils for that reason. We have sound of your voice, so that's singing to your baby during massage, talking to your baby, and also responding to your baby's cues with like cooing. And we have eye contact, or what we call eye gazing, baby gazing. So that's looking at your baby, observing your baby's cues, and through eye contact, babies know that they are safe. So they are the 5 concepts. So we say, are you getting your 5 a day? So it's easy for parents to remember, am I getting my 5 a day? Am I doing these 5 things during the day with my baby? Now, we also imagine that we have this beautiful love bubble, which obviously also fits in with the Blossom and Berry Circle of Love. The love bubble is the space that you create in your life. It can be a physical space, as in a space that is clear of clutter and phones, and it's dedicated for you to be present with your baby. You know, you might want to light a candle or have some beautiful relaxing music, make it really snuggly. We have a fantastic Hygge course, which is all about winter coziness and the Danish way of nurturing babies, which is also another wonderful element that you can add to your courses. So you're going to create this love bubble physically when you massage or when you're connecting with your baby, and you're also going to emotionally and mentally and spiritually connect it as well. So you're going to get present with your baby. So if you imagine that you are creating this love bubble, and when you're in this love bubble with your baby, you know, nothing is going to distract you from being present. You're not going to be looking at your phone. You're just going to say, I'm not available for this amount of time during the day because I want to be present with my baby. And when you come into that love bubble, you're safe with your baby and your baby is safe with you. And you can drop into your body, drop into your heart, which can feel scary if you've been holding a lot of emotions and you've been through some big things, and you're just going to let everything just be. You're just going to witness it. You're going to observe it. You're going to witness and observe it in your baby without judgment. If your baby's a bit, fussy or crying, or they're happy or they're sleepy or whatever, you're just going to be with your baby. You're just not going to judge. You're just going to be in that beautiful moment, that moment where you've been gifted to be with your baby. They're never going to be in this moment ever, ever, ever again in your life. And you are never going to be this version of yourself. And you're just going to be there in this bubble of unconditional love, where you're giving love to yourself and love to your baby in that beautiful loop, because love creates love. So we talk about this. It's so important, because if you think about the average day, like I have got a statistic on this about how much time parents actually spend with their children. The average parent spends about 12 minutes of like present time with their child a day, 12 minutes. The rest of the time, everyone's rushing around, doing their own thing, being disconnected, not really being present with anything, not really appreciating or being still, just doing loads and loads of things. And so for babies who are designed to not be separate from their parents, they're designed like, mammals they're designed to be carried. They're not birds. We don't build nests like birds do for our babies, pop them in there, fly away and do all of our things and come back. Although some parents do act like that, but babies don't understand that, because babies are mammals, and babies know that safety is their parents' heartbeat, is the how their parents' body feels, is the breath, it's the sound of the voice, it's the movement of the parent's body. And that's why baby wearing is so healing and incredibly fantastic at building up safety and trust in babies and calming babies, because you're actually creating the womb on the outside with a baby sling. And in our course Tree Babies and our Beach Babies and all of our Wild Wellbeing courses, they're all centered around baby wearing for that reason. But there's nowhere that is more soothing and calming in the world than being in a sling out in nature with your parent. Okay, like just every single part of your body is yearning for that experience as a baby. Every single part is true to your body because it's where you came from. You know, sitting in another room with a plastic thing over your head with all flashing neon lights and wild music and noise and this and the telly on and that, this, that and the other, and then being picked up and put down and in a car seat, and that's not the experience that a baby's body understands. And bearing in mind that the baby's brain is only developed to the point that everything is through the body, that's why babies may suffer from overstimulation, nervous system, all of these things, because it's just not how nature designed that first part of life to be. It's like 9 months in, 9 months out. So that first 9 months is just all about tender loving care. It's all about the transition from the womb to the world. It's all about making that process as joyful and as nurturing and as healing as it possibly can be for parent and baby, which is way, 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 way far away from what is actually happening in the world right now. So we get to be part of this at Blossom and Berry in holding classes in nature with tree babies, in holding classes with nurture, with baby massage, baby yoga and newborn nurture. So we are the gatekeepers to a different reality that used to exist but is being forgotten, and the value of the village is being forgotten, which is why I'm on this mission to gather together my village visionaries. I'm writing a book at the moment called The Value of the Village, to raise the value of the village. And before it's too late, before, you know, it seems like it's weird to be doing these things. It's weird to be sitting around just lying with your baby and stroking your baby and doing nothing. Like, that is not weird. That is what has been practiced for centuries. Like the idea that you're up and running and you're in your jeans and you're doing this and you're doing that and you're back at work and all of that, it's just not, it's not in a Western way, it's not, you know, as it was designed. Yes, there are women who work across the world with babies on their backs within days, but they're also respected and they're also looked after. And so there's a lot of practices that are being lost in the world. So the love bubble is something we talk about, this unconditional love bubble for you, for parent and baby. We've got a 5 a day in there. So once you step into the love bubble, you're back in that womb-like space. And the original love bubble is the womb. And if you think about the original love bubble, is wherever we came from, where where we exploded from this point of the Big Bang, or whatever you want to do it. That is the original love bubble. We're all in the love bubble. So there's the big love bubble, then there's the smaller one, the smaller, and even our cells are tiny, weeny love bubbles that are absorbing everything that we need. So it's really powerful concept, and it's very, very important. And you can practice this as yourself as a teacher. You can go into your love bubble and you can feel your feelings, you can express your feelings, you can be with your feelings, you can just be you, safe, and not have to be anybody else. And there's a lot of power in that. So that's number one, the love bubble and your 5 a day. And then we go on to what we call the love loop. So the love loop represents a concept that is very well known in infant mental health, and it was kind of created by by an institution called the Harvard School of the Developing Child. It's just like the #1 kind of research school on early childhood development, and particularly babies. And they talk about serve and return, and there's some good videos you can look at on YouTube on this. They're in our course as well, which shows that babies are actively seeking to be seen and heard, and to know that they belong and they're accepted. And they do that by making very subtle body, like cues with their bodies, cooing noises, eye contact. So as a baby reaches out and sort of makes a noise and then sort of like looks at you and goes, ooh, if you look back at the baby and say, ooh, the baby sees you as a reflection of themselves, and it makes them feel safe because they're seeing a reflection of themselves, and they know that they're connected to something and someone, so they're not alone. So they're able to be safe in their body, and they know that they're nurtured and cared for. Now, they've done an experiment called the still face experiment, done it many times, where there's a parent and a baby doing serve and return, the baby's perfectly happy, and then they say to the parent, right, we want you to now have a blank expression of the still face. And when the parent does that to the baby is completely confused. First of all, you can see them like panicking because they don't know what's happening, because they don't understand why their parent is not responding to them. And then they get really distressed and they start to cry because they are alone, because they're not being responded to. Then they're worried. Their nervous system is, I'm not going to have my needs met because no one can see me, no one's recognizing me, and I'm not, I'm not here, I'm not present. And so that puts babies into fight or flight and stress hormones and all of those things, which actually stunts growth and brain development. And over long-term periods of time, like in orphanages and things like that, you can end up with real like horrific trauma as a result of still face, of no response. And the work that I've done in orphanages in Malawi, I see this a lot, not through any fault of the staff, but just because there's not enough staff for the babies. And so the babies are left to cry, or the orphanage staff are so busy that they can't give the babies that individual attention. So the babies then think that they're going to fight or flight. They start to cry. The workers can't come, so they're left in that state. And then in the end, they just, stop crying because they think nobody's coming. And that's when you get real like emotional stunting occurring, which also reflects in physical as well. And I saw that firsthand in the work that I do in Malawi. And that's why 10% of everything that comes from our baby massage course goes to orphanages and projects to support babies that are vulnerable in that way. So that process of serve and return is absolutely crucial for early infant mental health, more than anything else, really. Serve and return. So we call that the love loop. So again, using the symbol here, it's the idea that, when your baby just does something, just do it back, just let it go, and then you'll do something and then it goes back to your baby, and then you do something and it goes back again. And this is how babies learn, through imitation, reflection, repetition, attunement, reciprocal, I can't say that, through receiving from you and then giving. And this is how you learn as a parent as well. You learn from your baby. How can you know what your baby wants unless you get present with your baby and start to observe your baby's cues and, start to come in tune with them and flow with them. And then you know what they want. And so that's a lot less stressful for you. So serve and return is very, very important. Again, in the first 40 days, if you're having time with your baby and you're resting, you're going to have loads of opportunity for that. Breastfeeding, chest feeding helps with that. Baby wearing helps with that. All of those things. Massage is absolutely perfect for that. We spoke about this yesterday, that massage is about loving communication. And so that is going to be a really big part of it too. So the love loop is also a concept that we use. And then these are just some of the concepts that are in Blossom and Berry to help it become more easy for you to explain the neuroscience and the psychology behind what we do. Now, some courses do not even talk about any of this. So it's the difference between whether you want to choose a course where you go in and you learn a routine for a baby, and you learn some of the benefits and that's it, or at Blossom and Berry, the learning never stops. The campaigns never stops. The desire, the vision never stops. Like, I'm never going to stop doing this until, I've tried to reach as many babies as I possibly can. And currently we're on almost 500,000 babies across the world. And then there's the vulnerable babies that we're helping through with charitable projects. So this is the difference about being the expert, is that you can be a teacher, you can be an instructor, you can have the piece of paper that tells you what to do, or you can have an understanding of why this matters, and you can be a village visionary. You can be a nurture ambassador. You can, through your actions, words, and your practice, create the village. Now, that's why I started Blossom and Berry. And that's why I've called in all these incredible teachers across the world, because I can't do it on my own. And that's why every single teacher is a gift to me. Every single teacher I invest in. That's why the Blossom and Berry business model is the way that it is. Because if you're not a success in what you do, then how am I going to be able to get all of this out into the world? And that's my purpose on this planet is to teach love. So this is how you're going to be the expert. Now, again, I've spoken a lot tonight. And this is only about 10% of what is in the course. In the course, we have the research studies, the TED Talks, we have the handouts, we have my lectures, expert lectures. We had a beautiful event called Nurturing the Future, which I'm hoping to run again this July with the top speakers in the birth and baby world, talking about why we've got 1001 days to save the world, whether it's for fathers, whether it's from an inclusive race point of view, gender, neurodiversity, whether it's birth or baby or breastfeeding or baby massage or whatever it is. So this is a key part of Blossom and Berry. This is the difference. And this community is everlasting. So you never leave. So you can also bring ideas to the community as well. And we have regional ambassadors who help to organise different bits too. So I could talk about this like forever. I literally feel like I've only just started. If you want to catch up on any of this, we have an amazing podcast called Nurturing the Future, 1001 Days to Save the World. And on there, you will find me talking a lot about the first 1001 days of life, why this matters. We've got amazing guest experts again coming on to share their take on it. So go over to Spotify, subscribe to that. Maybe we'll pop it on the an email for you tomorrow. So this is a way for you to download all of this knowledge. And of course, we have reading lists and like masterclasses every month. Like it never stops. And also, it's always continuing and changing all the time as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some questions because that was really useful yesterday. And I went massively over yesterday because I was very excited. So I'm going to try and limit myself tonight. So let's have a look at some of the questions. So Sonia is asking, how do you get the PDF copy? It was on the email that was sent out on replay 1. Lots of people saying hello. Rachel is saying, wow, you're amazing. Thank you very much. Sharice is saying, I love that, nurture ambassadors. I can see nurturing all over you. Rachel says, where can we find the link to sign on to the course? I can pop that in the chat box for you. And it will also be going out on email tomorrow as well and over the next few days. If you're watching this live in January 2023, we have a special offer on to the end of this month that is an 18-month payment plan instead of a 12-month payment plan just for January 2023. Which means you can get started, I think, for about £54. And we have Earn as You Learn, which means that you can be qualified in baby massage in as little as 12 weeks, or baby massage and baby yoga in about 20. But as soon as you have your certificate, you're out there earning, and then you just pay us back over the 12 months. Or if you do this in January 2023, it will be over 18 months. So Rosie says, I'm like you, a total geek when it comes to neuroscience behind infant development, and I love to share this with parents. I just worry that sometimes this knowledge can make parents feel more guilty and insecure. Is there a good way to avoid this? Great question. I remember when I found out how much mother's mental health can affect baby in utero, and I felt awful that I had negatively impacted my baby. So this is a really good question, Rosie. So we have a campaign that is called 100% Love for Babies. Now, some people might think you can't give babies 100% love because, sometimes you have to look after yourself. And you're right. But giving 100% love to baby means giving 100% love to you. It means accepting yourself, loving yourself, being with yourself, allowing your feelings. Because if you're not doing that for yourself, you're not going to be able to do that for your baby. Because what is on the inside is a mirror on the outside. So if someone has had an experience that is difficult during pregnancy, the answer is to give themselves love, compassion, acceptance and forgiveness for whatever reason that happened, because you can't change that. You were doing the best thing that you knew at the time, and that's the version of you that existed. And how could you have known? How you can't control it anyway. You can only be with yourself. So whatever's happened is happened. It's the past. But the awareness that you have now of this means that you can contemplate it and take action from an informed place. And as humans, you know, we're messy, we're going to mess up. And sometimes we're not going to give 100% love to ourselves or our babies, but that's the goal. Yeah, the goal is unconditional love. The goal is 100% love. Why would you give anything else? And if you're interested in this, we have a beautiful video actually on our homepage at Blossom and Berry. If you scroll down, you'll see it's our mission statement, 100% love for babies. And have a listen to that, really tune in, because my question is, why would we not give babies anything more than 100% love? Why would you give a baby judgment? Why would you give a baby expectation? Why would you shame a baby? Why would you blame a baby? In the same way, why would you judge yourself? Why would you put expectations on yourself? Why would you shame and blame yourself? You know, it doesn't actually make sense, because you're just putting negative stuff into your body, into your mind, that manifests in your body and eventually is stress, disease, illness, mental health problems. So everything starts with radical responsibility and knowing that you can only do what you did then, and you can now you can do different, and that's it. So Kay says, we'll be shown the best way to support parents with children with disabilities or birth defects. So that's a really good question. So we do have a whole section in the course on children with special needs or additional needs. But we also have a CPD course with Carly Budd, who is our resident paediatric occupational therapist. She's one of my senior lecturing team. She's also one of my best friends, and she's trained with me as a teacher about 10 years ago. And she has a special course which is very, very thorough and a deep dive into children with additional needs and adults with additional needs, and also inclusivity. There's a little bit in there on inclusivity by myself. So we do cover it in the course, but we also have the additional course as well. Kay says, if parent has support and is physically unable but wants to take part, how do we support? As I know my insurance says I can only be able to use a doll and not touch someone's child. Yeah, so you can't touch someone's child. You can have a doll, the parent can have a doll if they can't touch the child. They can watch, you know, if they can't, there's ways to learn and then adapt. If they can't do massage, they can do holding their baby, they can do skin to skin, they can do some, you know, they can do foot massage perhaps. Like, there's always ways you can adapt it. The thing you don't want to do is just say, no, sorry, you can't do it, or no, you know, if you've got to sit on the floor, and someone can't sit on the floor, you can't do baby massage. There's ways around it. We have to be flexible and agile and adapt things so that everyone can enjoy. Okay, so any other questions? There's less questions tonight. I think there's a few more people going to be watching on replay. Any more questions before I go tonight? Just to round up, that you have your booklets. If you want the certificate of attendance, there's some questions in there. There's your to-do list, which is like a to-do list, but it's a to-do list because you're excited about it, all the things that you desire to do. You can ask any questions in the village membership. I was just going to pop, wasn't I, in the chat box, the link to the course. So I'm just going to put that in now. Basically, if you go over to the Blossom and Berry website, which is blossomandberry.com, you will be able to find all of our courses, whether it's nurture, baby massage and newborn nurture, which is the early stages of touch as well, and our baby massage and baby yoga combined diploma, which is very popular. The expert nurturing the future diplomas, which is what I've been talking about tonight, the first 1001 days of life. So specializing and becoming an expert in conception to birth, birth to 1 to 2. You can do all of them, or you can cherry pick which ones you want. They're really amazing. There's nothing else like them. They're, again, a little bit of my personal masterpiece. And then there's also the nature courses, which some of you might not be aware of at all, which is Tree Babies, which is the power of mindfulness, somatic movement, breathwork, community, forest bathing in nature. That leads on to Barefoot Beach Babies, which is all about grounding and being by the sea. And we also have Nature Natal as well. So we also have those courses. So it's nature and nurture. And they're all available, all the same concept, lifetime access, unlimited training, part of the community, loads of goodies when you join, and they're all payable by installments. So yeah, Rachel said, I couldn't take you last night on Insta because it says you didn't follow this person. I don't know about that. I will send us a DM and I'll see if I can find you. Okay, so I think that's it for tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, Kirby says, Gail, is there a package with all of your courses in one? So the closest one would be the Nurturing the Future diplomas, because they have actually courses in them that you can't buy standalone. So the conception to birth, is pregnancy stretch, mindfulness and relaxation. There is a course called Baby Confidence, and there is a birth preparation course. So you can't get those courses other than in the diploma. In the Birth to One, you have baby massage and yoga, newborn nurture, a colic consultant course, so you can help babies that have colic, and you have 40 days of love, which is the kind of new mother sort of doula-ship type course. And then 1 to 2 is Learn, Stretch and Play, which is massage, music and movement. Preschool yoga with our amazing Colette, who is an author of Toddler Yoga with DK Books, and Nurture Play with Caroline Gartlett, who's an infant and mental health and play specialist. So you can see those, you could buy all of those if you want. You get access to all of them. You can study them over as much time as you want. You can pick and choose. Everything always starts on the nurture side with baby massage. That's the entry point, and then you can build from there, but everything starts with baby massage. And on the nature part, everything starts with tree babies and you build up from there, but you can just get all, you can just have it all. So Kate says, how would we get around the course being online and insurance, as my insurance won't cover online courses as it's only face-to-face? Well, then you can change your insurance company if you desire. Our insurance company, Westminster Professional Indemnity Insurance, has been insuring us for about 10 years. They're completely fine with online courses. Simple process, you apply online. And then you can learn online with us. You can teach online yourself over Zoom. And actually, our course is accredited by the Federation of Holistic Therapists as an online teacher training provider. So really, to be honest, since COVID, everything has really changed. So if your insurance company isn't in alignment with that, it might be worth having a shop around, because things are very different now post-COVID in the training world. So I'm going to close the question booth. So thank you very much, everybody. Again, let's close just with a moment of kind of stillness, because I think I literally just talked at you for an hour tonight, non-stop. I feel like I've got so much more that I could say, which is why it's all pre-recorded in the course, and we do our lives and we do our training and all of the things. So just closing your eyes for a moment, just taking a moment to just be present with what's happened in the last 60 minutes of your life, and just really taking a moment just to be with your body. Just connect with your heart. See what sensations are arising, if it's excitement, energy, expansion, creativity. Just noticing any feelings that are flowing through your body. What's your body telling you right now? And also noticing if there's any other feelings like fear or a bit of judgment or anything that's coming up, anger, rage, whatever it is, it's all welcome. And just noticing where those feelings are coming from as well. Just being with yourself and just knowing that you're safe and that you've just had an experience. And I hope it's one where you feel like you've learned and you've grown and you've developed. And know from this place that you can make an empowered decision and choice that is relevant to you now. And that's the most important thing, is just being in the moment now and deciding, okay, where do I want to expand my reality? And where do I want to let go of anything that is blocking me expanding into that reality? And where do I need to release old stories or anything that might be holding me back? And from that place, anything is possible. That's how I started 21 years ago now. So, okay, so I'm going to say good night to everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. If you're watching this on replay, it's not too late to come to any of the sessions. We are here for you. And remember, you can reach out for me. I love getting DMs. I love getting messages. You can book a call with me on the website if you want to ask any questions. You can go and look at all of our courses on blossomandberry.com. And anything you need, we're here to support you. And yeah, I can't wait to see you all tomorrow. All right, have a beautiful rest of your evening. And yeah, I'll speak to you very soon. All right then. Bye-bye.